All right, welcome back to Bring the Thunder podcast. We're going to be on episode 19. We have a couple topics lined up for you guys. First, Landon's going to kick us off here and start with his first topic.
All right, I got something to share here. It looks like we already got some early championship odds for the 2025-26 season. Probably guess who's at the top. It's the Thunder. They believe that we have a good chance to go back-to-back. We lead by a pretty significant margin. We're plus 240, and the second team, the Knicks, is plus 700. Looks like they're kind of favoring the East with the second and third odd, putting the Knicks and the Cavs, which makes me think they really think the Thunder are going to win the Western Conference. I know some people are leaning towards the Cavs in the East this season. I'm actually a Knicks believer. I don't mind that. And with odds, they normally put the odds where the money's going to go, and they know people. New York's a very popular team. There's a lot of New York fans, so they probably know that if they put New York in the second spot, that people are going to put money there. And then I'm kind of looking down low. I think the Hawks and the Mavericks are a little undervalued. I think there's some sleepers. I think the Hawks could fare well in a weaker Eastern Conference this year, and I think if the Mavericks are healthy, that's a plus 3,000 might be just slap $1 on that and hope for the best, something like that. It looks like down low, the Pelicans, Nets, and Jazz are kind of fighting for the number one pick sweepstakes. I personally think it'll be Ajay DeBansa who ends up being that number one pick, but we'll see. But yeah, that's all I really have to say as far as the odds go.
I think the Nuggets are being underrated quite a bit here.
I know that. I think that just shows me they really believe in the Thunder to go back to back as Western Conference champions.
It's good for us, I guess.
The one team that I'm looking at is the Bucks at plus 5,000 with having our boy Giannis over there. I think Giannis by himself can probably dismantle most of the Eastern Conference teams, even without a Dame-led, roster. So I feel like plus 5,000, that's where I'd put my money for the most value out of all the other East teams. I'm not really liking any of their odds. It's crazy that they have us at plus 240. I still can't wrap my head around that. Like post-championship, this is probably the best odds since the Golden State Warriors in 2016, that 2016-17 season. So that's pretty impressive on our part. And then also I wanted to mention real quick. Go ahead.
I cut some teams out of the picture on accident. No, that's everyone. I cut off the Pistons, the Celtics. I don't know how I managed to do that, but yeah.
No worries. I see. I was gonna say there's no way the Pelicans are that high. I see there's Wizards and Charlotte in there. I was gonna say the Pelicans don't have their first round pick next year. They traded it. So for them to be in that sweepstake is hilarious.
I think with the Kings, if they weren't in the Western Conference, they would be a lot higher. Like if you put the Kings in the East, they would be a lot higher than they are right now. I don't think they would be plus. What is that? 50,000.
That's pretty crazy. The other team, Suns at plus 50,000 seems pretty ridiculous to me. Like they could easily, at least be a top 6 seed or something like that. At least a 6 to 10 seed next season. They added a lot of defense to that roster. I'm trying to see
the odds are very high in 76's favorite.
Yeah,
plus 3,300.
I just don't know how the mesh is going to be with Jalen Green and Devin Booker. I don't know if that will benefit Jalen Green's game or hurt his game playing alongside Booker.
I think it's really easy to play alongside Booker because, when he gets the ball, he's going to put it up. So it's like, kind of what you're going to get from him. So it's a lot easier to kind of know that you're kind of the second option versus I feel like on the other team, it was kind of him and he was kind of battling for that first spot. Now he kind of can know what his role exactly will be. I think he has a more defined role.
for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Less pressure on him. The ball won't be in his hands as much.
Yeah.
Which,
I
yeah,
think the
could help.
worst I think the worst for your money is the Rockets at plus 800. Like the Rockets could end up either a top 3 seed or they could really fizzle out and be in a playoff, play in, like late playoff seeding type of situation. In my opinion, like they get one injury to Kevin Durant and they traded a lot of depth away. So I wouldn't want to risk putting my money there.
No.
Next up, we got most likely to. I'm gonna give you some scenarios, and you got to tell me which player on the roster right now is most likely. Yeah. So I'll say the most likely, and then Landon, you give me your player, then Satvir give you, and then I'll give you one. Okay, most likely to be traded.
Ooze. I would go Ooze. Is his potential? I still think he has a lot of untapped potential, yeah, but I don't know if he's ever going to get his opportunity on the Thunder, and money's going to get tight. And if he does stay for the full season, it will be this coming off season that we decide whether to keep him or not. So yeah, that's who I'd go with is Usman Deng.
And Satvir?
Kendrick, he's making like 7 million, and I just think age and money, like he's easy to kind of move. He's a wing. People probably would want him. He's pretty valuable, so I don't think his stock can get any higher than coming off of this run.
For me, I think Isaiah Joe. I think he's got a pretty tradable contract and slipped out of our rotation at the end of last season, so we might not need him. Could upgrade. All right. Next is who is the most likely to come back and help coach or scout on the team when the career is done?
Coach on the team.
Oh, that's actually, now that I think about it, I feel like Caruso. I feel like he enjoys the mentor role. He enjoys coaching up the younger guys. I've seen him coaching off the bench, kind of playing the assistant coach role. So I actually feel like that's quite an easy choice. That would be my top choice on that one.
I think I'm going to go with Hartenstein. He's really involved with the community. I think he actually enjoys being in OKC overall. I think he stays long term in general. And even if he doesn't, I see him being a guy that wants to come back and be involved with the organization.
Good pick.
I also had Caruso, so similar reasons. Next one, who's most likely to catch a body next season? For me, I'll go first on this one. I got Casey Wallace, I think.
You stole mine. I was gonna say Kaysen too, dude. He's been throwing down crazy freaking bangers, man.
I'm just ready for it.
And he's not scared of it at all. Like,
I got a sleeper. Don't sleep on Brooks Barnheiser. That dude's relentless. That dude's not afraid to go up on anybody.
Yeah, I could see him getting one. If Oos gets more minutes, he's gotten way more athletic. I've seen what I've seen from him in the G League. I think he's a guy that can like sneakily just run up on somebody and just boom.
Okay. Obviously, top choice would still be Casey Wallace.
Yeah. We also, I'm surprised no one mentioned Isaiah Joe. He's got
he did get up on Jeff Green. That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, got to mention him. Sleeper.
It could really be anyone on the team or almost anyone.
Yeah.
All right. Totally. Next up, be on the other side of the poster. So most likely to get dunked on next season, like a top 10 highlight. I'll get it out of the way, and I'm gonna say Chet Holmgren. He's been dunked on a couple times last year, but I think it's only because the best shot blockers get dunked on. He's gonna be contesting everything, so something's gonna slip through, and we'll only see that something, and we won't see all the blocks and all the defense. But
you know what? I'll just go. I know Sorber's was a great rim protector in college, but I'll just go with him because of the rookie experience. He doesn't have all the years under. Yep. That's exactly where I was going with that. His welcome to the league moment.
Yeah.
I was thinking Sorber as well because he likes to get up for blocks. The next person I'll go with is J. Will because he's another one But the way Jay Will goes up for blocks is like two hands, and like I can just see him going with two hands, and then Ja just coming out of nowhere and just yamming it.
Hopefully not. Next up, who is most likely to never leave OKC? So they'll retire on the team. First, for me, I have Jay Will. I think we already saw him take a pretty team-friendly contract, so I think he's happy to be here and he's happy to just be part of the team. And like he's not going to try to go somewhere else to prove himself. He's cool here, I think. I hope. But
for me, it's a mix of Shea and Jay Will. I feel like if Shea has enough, one or two more rings under his belt, that's going to be too much to like even he could be mediocre to close out his career, and OKC would still keep him around just because he delivered us those championship rings and was the number one option on those teams.
Thunder legend, yeah. I'd love that, to be honest. You got thinking a lot there, Satvir.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think. It feels like it's not easy because when you have a championship roster, you're accounting for a lot of turnover. So I'm trying to think who would take the most team-friendly deals to just stay. I know this is going to be weird. I think I said Kenrich is most likely to be traded or something, but he's also another guy that could just end up staying for the rest of his career too, because he is on such a team-friendly deal where if he's like one more extension away from just retiring.
He did once come out and say that he never wants to leave OKC. So I don't think, unless we get rid of him, I don't think he's leaving us.
Yeah.
All right. Who is most likely to play all 82 games next season?
I'll go first. Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren's playing 82. He's a dog. He stays in the gym. And outside of like freak injuries and stuff, he played a full season, so I can see him doing it again.
I'm going to go with Casey Wallace. I think he's young, got the legs. Doesn't really have an injury history as much as I know of, but yeah.
Trying to think of people who haven't got hurt playing for us. Oh no.
Honestly, there's an obvious answer here.
I mean, I don't think Shea will play all 82 because of. Oh no, I'll go. I know he's had injuries in the past, but I'll go Chet. I feel like if he's healthy, he's gonna play no matter what.
Then I was hinting towards Shea because his injuries are more like he needs rest rather than like actual.
No, I don't think 82. I don't think he'll play every single back-to-back.
Yeah, I don't expect him to, but I don't think like that should count against him. He practically plays all 82 anyways.
All right,
he plays a lot more than some of the other star players in this league. So
this one's going to take a bit more thinking, so take your time. But who is the most likely person in the next season to break an OKC single game record, and what's that record going to be?
You said single season record?
Single game.
Single game record.
Single game.
Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of time here.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
I'll go with Chet Holmgren blocks.
That was the one on my mind.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest one because he's already gotten some records for blocks and stuff, and as long as he's healthy and he has more time to get them, like he can break a record for that.
I got Nikola Topic, most assists by rookie.
Oh, okay. I was about to say most
we can categorize by rookies, huh?
That would be a single game record. So,
all right, fine then. Brooks Barnhizer, most steals by a Thunder rookie.
I like it.
That's fair.
That one will probably happen, to be fair. All right, next. Who is most likely to forget their shoes in a training whilst going to a training?
Forget their shoes going to the training? Oh, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a joke, but
I'm gonna go with the rookie Sorber.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. He's running.
What was it? Forgot to bring shoes.
Yep. To practice.
I feel like Wiggins just because he's goofy, which his goofiness probably goes hand in hand with leaving stuff behind.
I feel like for me, Jalen Williams, I could just see it happening. I don't know why. Not much rationale to it. All right, finally, who is most likely to start a podcast? I'm gonna say Jalen Williams.
A lot. Yeah, I almost want to go roll.
Like,
I almost go
with.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to. My mind goes right to role players because I've seen so many role player podcasts recently. One of them's Jeff Teague. I saw Raymond Felton on another. I don't know. I'll just scroll social media and see random role player podcast.
See, I could see J-Dub because he's been on quite a few and he's pretty onto it, like with social media and everything. So I think he'd like to speak his mind quite a bit. He's been on JJ Redick's and is it The Young Man and the Three or whatever that one is?
Yep. Yeah, give me the Williams Bros podcast. I could see when Cody's at the tail end of his career and about to retire. I could see J-Dub hitting him up and they start a podcast together.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty obvious one with his social media presence. I think the other two is the other person that's pretty present on social media recently is Alex Crusoe. I think he'll be another guy on a podcast at some point. And then the other sleeper pick, Hartenstein, is pretty active social media wise. So those would probably be my top three. And I think all three of them probably end up having podcasts.
Hey, I do want to say a Williams podcast with J Will and J Dub would be one entertaining podcast.
Yeah, that would be. I'd definitely tune in for that. All right, that's all for the most likelies. I think moving on. You got it, Satvir?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the three different, pretty much haters of the OKC all season long. This is what you guys have been waiting for this whole time. ESPN parting ways with Shannon Sharpe after he had a settlement lawsuit. And then we had former NBA star Gilbert Arenas arrested in connection with an illegal high-stakes poker games. And on top of that, we had Marcus Morris, NBA veteran, ESPN analyst as well, on fraud charges, and he was arrested as well. So we kind of had a trifecta this week hit us after their wrong predictions, with Gilbert Arenas saying that Thunder had 0% chance at winning a championship. Marcus Morris pretty much was the Clippers insider saying there's a Western Conference team that doesn't think, OKC can go all the way. And I believe we all know Shannon Sharpe with his OKC, UFC, Lakers at 5 stick that he had. So I definitely had to mention these. I think, Shannon Sharpe is still going to carry on with his social media presence because he has his own media corporation. So he'll probably carry on. Gilbert Arenas has a little bit more high stakes federal indictment on him. So he's kind of in a different pickle. It's still to be seen with all three of these guys, kind of what ends up happening. I think the only person that was really in the clear is Marcus Morris. They were saying their fraud charges. Essentially what happened was he had a couple late bills on a casino payment. He got arrested for that, and I think he's already out, and it wasn't too big of a deal. But for everything to happen and us to win a championship, I just hope that the rest of the ESPN and new or old media members kind of learn their lesson with going against this Thunder team, man. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on.
It's very coincidental. You mentioned 3, but I'm just waiting for the ESPN and Doris Burke parted ways with each other notification.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe that'll come next week. I've seen the
Please,
rumors about it, but I think she'll get, instead of parted ways, I think the rumors was more she'll get kind of demoted. Someone will take her place for the playoffs. But she'll probably still do regular season.
It's cool. It was cool until she hit the whole thing. She was like, and this is why people hate Shea Gilgeous-Alexander because of this baiting or whatever it was she said.
She still doesn't know what that means. She still doesn't know what it means, man. Like, I refuse to believe she knows what foul baiter actually means.
Well, karma, bro. Karma. See who talks bad about the Thunder this season. See how they go.
I think out of the three, you take Sharpe, Morris, Arenas. I think Morris said the most ridiculous things out of the three. Morris really put us down. He thought we weren't worth crap.
That's true.
He didn't even think we could win the Western Conference.
That's true. I mean, he kind of bagged on us every chance he got, but he has a personal stick with the Thunder, by the way. I have to mention this. His brother, Markieff Morris, was actually on the Thunder during the Paul George days, and we didn't give him playing time. So Marcus actually came out and said a bunch of stuff about the Thunder, not putting him in the right situation. So he's kind of held that grudge. And Markieff, surprisingly, has let it go on national TV. Like, he was actually, pretty positive about the Thunder and his time with us. So it's kind of funny that his brother still is salty about that, and then this happened, and then this whole situation is kind of crazy. Gilbert Arenas, funnily enough, had Shea's dad on his Arenas podcast or whatever that they have going on. So it's kind of weird that he bagged on us the way that he did, and then still managed to have that interview, and then I think the following day they kind of bagged on us again. So
yeah, I did see one comment. It was like, if Markieff showed up to court instead of Marcus, do you think the court would even notice?
That's a good one. That's ridiculous. All right, I think we've had enough fun of making fun of these guys. We've gotten our championship. We should just take the good karma as it comes. We won't bag on them any more than this episode right here. But let's move over to another interesting topic here. Russell Westbrook, possibly in some conversations here with the Kings. I think this is interesting for them. One thing I will mention, the reporting is that the Kings are looking to make a trade because they don't have the roster space to actually get Russell.
It's not even just that. They're just so crammed at the guard spot. They have a ton of guards because they just drafted Nick Clifford, and then they already have Bunk, Devin Carter, some other guys.
Is Nick Clifford a guard?
It's like, I think he's a tweener. I think he played 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at what their depth chart looks like. It looks like they have Schroeder, Ellis, Carter, and then I guess Zach Levine. So for guards, I don't think that's too deep of a guard rotation. I think they could
Schroeder too.
Funnily enough, imagine them trading Schroeder again. Like, Schroeder's been moved so many times in the league.
No,
I can see it.
I don't think they would. I think they paid him too much just to move him.
They did seem pretty high on him.
Yeah. I just thought it was hilarious.
And I think it's too late in the off season. Everyone's already spent their money elsewhere on other things.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at who they would move. I think a guy like Dario Saric is already out of there. I mean, it's gonna have to be someone.
There's also buzz around them. They've also been linked to Kuminga a lot. Basically, Kuminga came out and said if the opportunity presented itself for him to play for the Kings, he would take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Interesting. That'll be bad. That'll be quite a big hit for the Warriors.
I think that would actually be perfect because then the Kings can get him, picks up their roster depth situation, and I think it'd work out both ways because I don't think he's signing with the Warriors with the way they kind of treated him in the regular season. Plus, this negotiation has been really poor with him, Cam Thomas, and Josh Giddey's contract negotiations have been rough this offseason. I think the CBA in 2028 got to be renegotiated with the players because this is going to keep happening to all of them.
Mm-hmm. He's super confident in himself, and he values himself as a star. But as long as Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry are in Golden State, I don't think he's ever going to be able to reach that star level that he thinks he's capable of reaching.
Yeah,
totally agree.
Talking about Kuminga.
Yeah. Also, Kerr doesn't like him. Like he just didn't play him in the playoffs, so it's like I'd be looking to ask for a trade. Let's. If we don't have anything else to talk about for the Russell Westbrook topic, let's move over to AJ Mitchell versus Nikola Topic in the regular season. Who do you guys think is going to get that, backup guard minutes, rotation minutes? I'll let Jack start it off because he seems really ecstatic to do so.
Well, it's hard because obviously you have to play both. AJ's just been too good to ignore, and Topic, we spent the 12th overall pick on him, and his upside is incredible. And I wonder whether they try to transition AJ into more of a 2-guard and see how that works, and then who knows, but I hope that they both can get good minutes in this system, and because I really love seeing both of them play, especially in Summer League. But AJ is one of my personal favorites on this team, so I really wouldn't want to see his minutes go like completely, and then Topic comes in. But who knows, man? I think preseason training camp, like nothing is decided at this moment. They'll have to earn it, and I think coming into game 1 we'll have a different rotation to game 2. Like we see it. Well, I mean, we saw it a lot last year, but it'll be more evident this year where the roster, the rotation, it's going to be so different game to game, and we just have too much talent. So you got to try things out during the regular season. I think some games, maybe one of them won't play, one of them will, but hopefully we play both of them, develop both of them.
Yeah, I think it's super situational. We have a super situational coach in Mark Dagnall, and this isn't a bad problem to have. This is a good problem to have, having two really talented younger guards. I think if we're looking a little out of pace and we need someone to clean up our offense, make it look more fluid, we'll go with Topic. If we need more if we're down, we need more scoring, we're not getting enough scoring output, I think we'll lean towards AJ. But I think what we will see happen is if Topic struggles early on and he's turning the ball over, doing bad things, I think we'll still play him during the regular season, because in the past we've really valued playing rookies through their mistakes and kind of using that as a learning experience for them. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird position. Do you want to, have your 12th overall pick that's actually more of a top 5 pick develop because of his potential? Or do you want to see that second rounder that looks really consistent, get the minutes? It's a tough spot to be in. It's like, what do they value more? I think they probably, like you guys are mentioning, have a balance. But I guess if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Topic just because of just the higher ceiling overall. Because he also plays a more traditional point guard role, and that's kind of what you need next to Shea and J-Dub versus scoring, because we have enough scoring in terms of guard play. So if I had to choose, I would probably choose Topic if I was the coach on a more consistent basis. But I see the reasoning for AJ. He's super versatile as a combo guard. He has solid defense, solid playmaking. He can kind of get to the basket however he wants. So he's a little bit more consistent overall, but I think long-term, like developmental wise, I'd probably just squeeze a couple extra minutes over to Topic just for that, just to see a little bit more from him.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Malevy Leon's Exhibit 10 deal. We have a bunch of Exhibit 10 deals that will be coming up for if you guys don't know, that's kind of like a 1-year non-guaranteed deal that they give to G League guys during the off season. You can sign up to 21 players during the off season. So we'll have a bunch of those guys probably sign just to kind of have them in and around the team. Probably at the end of the deal, they'll get, stick with the G League, whatever. But this is kind of to get a closer look with them, work with them more in the off season. And I think it's a solid deal for him. This kind of indicates he probably may not get this 2-way, or he could at least fight for the 2-way. He's probably in the contention for that last 2-way spot. So he's got some time to, be part of this non-guaranteed training camp contract and just kind of see what his 2-way ability shows. What do you guys think about this deal for him?
Well, I'm just happy he got signed to this because this basically locks him in for another season of the OKC Blue, which he killed it in. He's my top pick for the 2-way. I'm not going to pretend he's not. So I'm really happy. Hopefully he shows him what he can do in training camp. But I guess, it just shows that he's probably one of the top. I mean, we've covered it in a previous video, but he's one of the top 2 prospects for that 2-way between him and Youngblood. So I guess they're just going to be fighting it out in training camp. And I'd really love to see that, to be honest. Like, seeing these guys fighting for this last spot, I mean, they'd go ham and just be diving on the floor. They've really won it. So it'd be cool to see. But who knows who's going to get it. I trust Pressy to make this right decision, but I'm really happy that Malevy got signed. So at least he'll be on the Blue. Worst comes to worst.
Yeah, I think as far as this goes, I think it will be he sticks with us in the summer and then ends up getting another year on the Blue, which I think the Thunder are kind of banking on his future. He's like 6'10", 6'11", can shoot the ball, can space the floor, decent rim protector. So I think he does have some NBA that stretch 5 play style translates well in the NBA nowadays. A lot of teams look for that playing style. So I think he's worth keeping. You never know what could happen with Carlson. I think we'll keep Brooks Barnheiser around, but you also never know what he could be. The third 2-way guy we sign. You never know, but we could also sign someone else, and they could end up leaving at some point. So it's kind of just good to have Leon's around as backup if he does end up staying on the Blue. But I think with those 2-way spots, we really value character in those spots, especially being a championship-winning team. You want guys who are going to boost the players around them's confidence, kind of be an energy guy on the bench. We saw it with Dylan Jones last year, always rooting for the guys, giving them high fives, dancing, doing all that stuff. So I think they definitely look into character when choosing guys for those 2-way spots. Brooks Barnheiser is another character guy. Carlson's a good character to have.
And I was saying that I think that'll favor Malevy because I remember I saw a report after his first G League game, he went around the media pen and introduced himself to all the OKC media, got to know them, and I think they were all very impressed about that.
I do
he's a good dude. So fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I'm really cool with. I trust whoever we go with. I'm really cool with whoever.
Sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, they aren't even able to play in the playoffs anyways. So I just want someone that I'm going to like and going to like to see in a Thunder jersey.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention before we head out off this episode here is for this Exhibit 10 deal, I think in the episode that me and Jack recorded, we mentioned how we have a couple injured players on that summer league roster. I think some of those guys will probably end up signing deals on this to give them a chance to see if they can have that 2-way spot. So I think that'll add an interesting mix to the already guys that we're kind of considering. I think like Gortman and obviously the Youngblood and Malevy are kind of the top 3, but I think some of those injured guys, maybe this gives them that training camp space to, show out. And I'm kind of interested to see if, we'll see some footage of that or if we get some playing time from them for like a preseason game or something like that. Like if they show something, you never know, like they could easily get the spot because that's really all it takes is you showing out in 1 or 2 games. That's really what it's about. And I think for all these like two-way spots or bench rotation spots, I think we're trying to aim highest ceiling possible. I think that's the best case scenario because you want obviously a guy that's on a two-way rotation player to have the highest ceiling so you can lock him up on a long-term deal and, pair him up, as a role player next to Shea. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed
Not
this.
to fail to mention.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say they can also play them in the preseason games. And I also think that Peyton Sandfort from Iowa will get one of those E10 spots. I would lean towards that.
And Victor Larkin, I believe, as well.
But yeah, other than that, he was one of the injured ones, right?
Yeah, on the summer league team. So they see something there.
Yeah. Also, for opening night, we're facing the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken. So Kevin Durant will, funnily enough, see us get the trophies, the rings, the real rings. So super excited about that. All right, guys, thunder up. We'll see you guys for the next episode. This will drop at Friday, 3 p.m. Central every Friday. So peace out.